Hello class, today we're going to talk about the rules of debits and credits. Before we get started, I want us to recall the basic accounting equation that we learned in Module 1. So if you remember, assets equal liabilities plus owner's equity. Okay, assets are resources. Those are the benefits that the company has that they will use in their operation. Where do those assets come from? They can only come from two sources. If they come from sources outside of the company, they're liabilities. These represent obligations or things that we owe to someone else. Assets can also come from owner's equity. Owner's equity represents the owner's residual interest in the company. Why did I call it residual interest? It's the residual interest because it represents what's left over. Once I take my assets, use those assets to satisfy all of my liabilities. What's left over is owner's equity. Okay, moving on. Now in Chapter 2, we introduced some new terms called debit and credit. The word debit simply means left. The word credit means right. With the principle of duality, we have the total of all debits equal the total of all credits. Notice that debits are on the left side of the equal sign and credits are on the right side of the equal sign. Now, you also were introduced to a concept called a T account. A T account simply is a teaching tool to represent what an account structure looks like. So notice I put the T account with the bar coming through the equal sign. When I look at the T account, my debits are on the left side, my credits are on the right side. Then you were introduced to a term called normal balance. Normal balance represents the side of the account that causes it to increase. So if I take a look at how I've structured my two equations up here, assets are on the left side, left being debit, debits will increase assets. If I go over to the right side of the equation, I have liabilities and owner's equity. Right side, credits, will increase liabilities and owner's equity. So there you have it. This is a simple way to visually look at the basic accounting equation along with debits and credits to know which side will cause it to increase. So do you got it? Assets increase with debits, liabilities and owner's equity increase with credits. Now let's take a minute and think about a question. What would you do in order to decrease an asset? Think about that for a moment. If I wanted to decrease an asset. So let's write that on the board. Decrease an asset. If you guessed credit, you're correct. Good job. Join me in part 2 of this series so we can expand the basic accounting equation, and I'll give you a trick to help you remember the rules of debits and credits.